So, you have a movie for me?
Yes, sir, I do. So you remember Suicide Squad from 2016?
Oh, yeah, that movie that I hired people to kind of chop up, and then everybody blamed the director for how much they hated it?
That's the one. So I was thinking we make another one, but we add "the" to the title.
Oh, that has a nice ring to it, actually.
Right.
Yeah, Suicide Squad, the...
No.
Oh, you want to put it at the beginning? Yeah, that's good, too.
Great.
So is this like a sequel, or a reboot, or a soft reboot?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we're gonna take some of the characters from the first movie, played by the same actors.
Oh, very fun, and some new ones, too.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a bunch of new characters. There's gonna be one named Blackguard, and I thought we could get Pete Davidson to play him.
People love Pete Davidson. That's gonna be a fun character.
And his face is gonna explode almost immediately.
Oh my god.
I also thought we could get Nathan Fillion in here.
Oh, now he's great. What's he gonna do?
Die almost immediately.
Okay, wow.
Michael Rooker, he'd be great to play one of these guys.
To do what?
Die almost immediately.
Okay, what is happening?
Well, see, sir, there's gonna be a whole Suicide Squad team at the beginning of the movie that just kind of gets wiped out as a distraction.
Okay, so like lesser known characters, and then you'll have more known characters in the movie too, like Captain Boomerang.
Yeah, he's in the movie.
So what's he gonna do?
Die almost immediately.
Oh my god, okay, does anyone not die immediately? Is the movie 5 minutes long?
Well, we want to start the movie by sending the message that anyone can die at any time,
Yes.
right?
Ah, that's just like in real life.
Yeah, so anyway, out of that first team, there's Rick Flag and
Well,
Harley Quinn
he
that
didn't
make
like
it out
that.
alive.
And what about on the main team? Who do we have on there?
Well, there's this one guy, right? And he's like an amazing shooter, and he's like a reluctant leader, and his main motivation is his daughter.
yeah, Deadshot. I know Deadshot. He was in the last movie.
Nope, this is a guy called Bloodsport.
Oh, that... Okay.
And there's this other predatory
Alright.
animal character that eats humans.
Killer Croc. Yeah, I know.
No, this is King Shark.
I know.
Ah, I should stop trying to predict things, I guess.
You're not particularly good at it, sir. And we also have this other character who shoots polka dots and another one who controls rats.
Working for pest control is tight.
No, her name is Ratcatcher too, and she can like control rats with her mind. And then there's Peacemaker, who's like Bloodsport, except he murders in the name of peace.
Who were you thinking for that role?
I was thinking maybe John Cena.
Oh, you know what? I can't see him in that role. Because of his catchphrase.
I understand the joke, sir. I just hate it.
That's fair.
So anyway, pretty much all
No
these
response.
characters have sad backstories.
Oh, okay. So I imagine they're each gonna have a tattoo on their forehead explaining that?
No.
What? Then how will people
Well,
know?
once in a while, one of them will stop and explain their past to the other characters, which I think you'll agree is a little more subtle.
I guess.
And so, yeah, Amanda Waller implants bombs into all these people's necks, which is the whole premise of the thing.
Sure.
And so she sends them all to this island laboratory to destroy this experiment called Project Starfish.
So what kind of stuff does the squad get up to on this island?
Oh, well, first of all, they need to go save Rick Flag because it seems like he's been captured.
Right.
Okay.
So Peacemaker and Bloodsport, they have this kind of competition where they go through this camp and just kill people in horrific ways, just extremely bloody and graphic.
Oh, so we're like talking like an R rating here.
Yeah, because this way we get to see some brains and spinal cords and say stuff like 69 and splooge.
69, that's the funny number.
Yeah, it is.
And the other stuff is gross.
Yeah, it is.
Very fun.
So they eventually reach this tent that Rick Flag is in, and it turns out the camp was full of good guys. He wasn't even captured.
Oh, whoops.
Whoopsie.
And so Rick Flag didn't hear any of the commotion?
No, he didn't hear the people screaming
Nothing.
or exploding or the guard tower
Even the people
collapsing
that were
right next
close
to
to
him.
How
other
did he
people
not hear
died.
any of that?
Well, he was in a tent.
Oh, tents are known for being soundproof. Carry on.
And so we're also going to meet up with Harley Quinn.
And what's she up to?
Well, see, since she's the most popular character, I figured she should get her own solo movie.
She already got her own movie.
Yeah, well, she's gonna get another one inside of this one.
That makes sense.
So she has this whole big side quest and even a
that's what
love
happens.
interest, and she ends up being captured by these military people, and she's being tortured for info.
Oh, that's painful.
It sure is, sir, but then she pretends to be unconscious, and so she strangles this guy with her legs when his back is turned.
Well, thank God he took a break with his back turned while still within her reach, or that plan wouldn't have worked at all.
It worked out pretty great, so then she takes out a whole bunch of military guys with like crazy martial arts and stuff.
Harley Quinn is better at hand-to-hand combat than a full squad of trained military people?
Yes.
No further questions.
So eventually they get their hands on this bad guy called the Thinker, who's been running the Starfish experiment for like 30 years.
Okay.
And so obviously that's going to lead into like the third act where they have a big situation to deal with.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. So what color's the sky beam gonna be?
Actually, I was kind of thinking maybe we don't do a sky beam.
Well, we usually do a sky beam.
Yeah, but I was thinking we could do more
What
of like
color
a
is the sky
giant
beam?
hive mind starfish from outer space getting eaten by millions of rats, and one of the main characters pierces its eye with a javelin, and all the rats go in there.
We usually do a sky beam, though.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So anyway, it turns out that Amanda Waller told Peacemaker to get this hard drive that proves that the government's been funding the whole starfish thing.
Oh.
But Rick Flag doesn't think that's very nice, so they get in a fight and Peacemaker kills Rick Flag.
Very rude.
And then Ratcatcher 2 gets the hard drive, so Peacemaker wants to kill her.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for her to get out of that situation.
Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Oh, really?
Yes, because of an explosion, Bloodsport's gonna fall through multiple stories in a building and land in the exact spot he needs to be in to save the day without injury.
Oh, that is convenient.
It sure
Without
is, sir. Then
injury.
we're gonna have a scene where King Shark falls from a building and gets shot point blank with a bunch of machine guns, but his skin's so tough it doesn't hurt him at all.
Very cool. How'd they inject the bomb into his neck?
Unclear, and so this explosion is also gonna set this giant hive mind starfish free.
Uh-oh.
And so this thing shoots out little starfish that attach to people's faces.
And that's how it does its hive mind thing?
Exactly.
So I guess the good guys need to keep their faces covered for the whole fight, huh?
No, they just do it like once each, and that does the trick.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, because see, we're gonna wanna see their faces, so these little starfish just kind of stop going for them after a bit. Wow, okay, so this hive mind is kind of a big moral dilemma to tackle, huh? Like, do you kill these people that are innocent, but they're being mind controlled by an alien? Oh no, we're gonna have a little line explaining that they're corpses under the starfish,
Yeah.
so they're already dead.
Oh, okay, thank God.
So we don't have a sky beam, but we do have a faceless, soulless army. Well, we gotta do some of the classics.
Yeah, we do.
So then Ratcatcher 2 summons millions of rats to attack this starfish.
Seems like maybe she could have solved a lot of the movie's problems all on her own.
Yeah, well, this is the climax of the movie, so this is really when they use the full extent of their powers. That's fair. And so, yeah, then Harley Quinn pierces the eye of the giant starfish with a javelin, and that takes care of that. And so they hadn't fired bullets at the giant starfish eye? They did, but only the javelin does any damage.
Well, okay then.
And so then as Starro is dying, he's like, I was happy floating in space, looking at the stars. Hey, excuse me, did you just make me feel bad for a giant alien starfish with a single line?
I did.
Wow, 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 wow. And so yeah, that's about it. What do you think? Well, it sounds like a lot of fun,
Just
you
like
know? I
that.
think it's gonna perform great at the box office.
Me too, sir.
So long as there's not some kind of seemingly unending worldwide event that causes hesitancy in people going to the theaters and also completely changes the way we release movies to streaming. Why would you say that?
That was actually hilarious. I didn't know what to really expect from this one from Ryan George in the pitch meeting, but he did not disappoint. The Suicide Squad was a marked improvement from what we got back in, what was that, 2016? That movie, obviously, we know was torn to shreds by, you know, editors and the studio, all that jazz. It's not what David Ayer originally envisioned. But this movie, seeing how you do take away some of that studio interference, it gave James Gunn what he wanted to do here, and I think he did very well. Has some of, you know, some issues here and there, but overall it's a really fun movie. I really actually enjoyed it. A lot of laugh out loud moments, a lot of touching moments, surprisingly. A lot of moments where you do still feel for the characters, but they're still villains. I think this one, The Suicide Squad, did a better job of showing how these are still bad guys in comparison to the first one, where it kind of almost made some of them good guys, to me, in a sense. I like how he did things here. I also like how, you know, a lot of the guys, spoiler warning, you already saw it here, but I like how a lot of the guys got murdered pretty much in the beginning. There's two different teams. Second team, they go in and they do their job, and then you have some people from the first team meet up with the second team. I like how they kind of switch that up, because it's a suicide squad. It's a suicide mission. Like, everybody shouldn't come out alive when it comes to these jobs that they're putting them through. Task Force X, they're meant to die if something goes wrong, and you know, they've got bombs in their necks. I mean, come on, that's the whole point of this. I still don't understand how in the first film, was it Diablo was the only one that died, and maybe some random military guy with the bomb. I thought that Killer Croc died, but it wasn't Killer Croc. It was just a random guy. So, you know, that wasn't really a suicide situation, because he only had like really one death of the main characters. But this one was great. I still enjoyed, obviously, the action, the gore, a lot of the dialogue between the characters. Everything just meshed well with the characters and their different moments together. I really enjoyed that. At one point in the beginning, I did feel like there was a lot of stuff going on, like a lot of characters being introduced. We're introduced to many new characters in addition to Harley Quinn and Captain Boomerang and Rick Flag, things of that nature. But there's also the people of this country that are trying to pretty much take over the government, because the government's really seedy, and it's just all kind of crazy stuff going on. But you had them, you had the Thinker, you had the guy that was trying to pretty much fall in love with Harley Quinn. It was just a lot of stuff that was happening. And again, it's a sequel, so you expect it to be big and have more going on. But I guess that's the thing though. Is it really a sequel? It's kind of a sequel, man. It's kind of a reboot and it's kind of a remake. It's kind of like all these things into one. I think it does a lot of different things well in the realm of what that is, as far as a reboot, remake, the sequel. But there's a whole lot going on. So if this is your first time seeing this and you didn't watch the first one, you might get a little bit lost because there's a lot happening. But I think all the characters have moments where they shine, and the story overall is pretty cool. Especially the fact that they got Starro in there is pretty great. I thought that was pretty awesome. And then, yes, that line that he says at the end, it makes you feel for the character from one line, one quick line, and you kind of feel for the character and what they went through. And it's like, that's messed up. But it shows that, hey, it was good writing. Like that was, it kind of showed how they excelled at telling this story, and you feel for the characters, you feel for what they're going through, and you want to see more of them. So I did hear or read a story that Idris Elba, he wants to do a movie on his fight with Superman, like what led up to that, and him shooting Superman, putting him in the hospital with the kryptonite bullet. I would pay to see that for sure too. So I like how DC is really handling their villains. They're giving their villains more time to shine, and compared to Marvel, I feel like they're respecting their villains more than Marvel as well. DC compared to Marvel. Obviously they killed a lot of them in this movie, but they still do a better job, I think, with the villains than Marvel does. That's just my take. So we can talk about it in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this pitch meeting. Again, this hilarious pitch meeting, and on the Suicide Squad overall. Give me your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. To my hyper crew, as always, Brian Tidwell, Steve O, Slepnier, K6013, Dash Milner, Portal on Mobile 44, and Daniel Lopez. Thank you guys so much for being a part of that crew. I really do appreciate it. To all my members and subscribers, thanks so much for supporting the channel in any way that you have, whether it's monetarily or just hitting that subscribe button. I really appreciate it, and it goes a long way. While you're still here, hit that like button. Really just helps me out, helps me know what you guys want to see, and it helps out the channel overall. If you're not subscribed, think about hitting that subscribe button. It also helps out to grow the channel, and I think you have fun with what we're doing here. You can also check out our most popular videos right over here. You can see our most recent reaction right up there. If you've seen all of that, I'll see you guys in the comments. We'll talk about this.